Yo people, wagwan, welcome back to Ron's Tech Up, and today I have an amazing announcement for you guys. It's not my announcement. So the XIM matrix has been revealed by the guys over at the XIM team. So that's Xbox Input Machine, but it works now on both the Xbox and on the PlayStation, and I believe on PC as well. It has so many different forms of input. Let's jump into this one. Just to make sure I don't get a copyright strike, I'm not going to be playing the video that Odin uploaded onto YouTube. What I am going to do instead is simply take screenshots and speak about what I wanted to speak about. First question, let's answer the most burning issue that everyone has. Is this going to work with the PS5? Because the XIM 4, XIM Apex worked perfectly fine with the Xbox, but is it going to work with the PS5? The answer is yes, 100%. Now, as you can see here from the screenshot or from the video I have up, Odin was using mouse and keyboard on the PS5. I think the way this works, it works similar to the B-Loader, where they stream the gameplay over the network, but rather than streaming the entire audio, video, and input and output, what they've done is they've only streamed, or they've only captured from the stream that was being sent, the actual button input. So you don't get the video, you don't get the audio, which means that it could be really fast depending on the speed of your internet, but regardless, it works. And for Odin to add this into the XIM device means that it works really well, because all the previous XIM devices, I've had the XIM 3, the XIM 4, and the XIM Apex, so I am very excited for this device. Currently, I have a B-Loader. The implementation works okay in most cases, but not in every single case, and I have had people message me saying, how does this work? Why is my B-Loader not working? I also have the B-Loader Pro as well. That seems to have less issues, but no Wi-Fi. So there's always going to be a toss-up, but hopefully with the XIM matrix, all those problems are solved and we just have one single device that can do everything. So by default, we have mouse, keyboards, and also keypads working. So this is the typical setup that we've had for a very long time. Nothing's changed there. You should be able to plug these into your console, plug in the XIM matrix at this stage, and everything should work fine. So this is directly from the video that Odin uploaded onto YouTube. Another thing that they have is gyro aiming, where now if you're not sure what gyro aiming is, this is where you maybe have a controller or a device in hand and you don't actually have to move the sticks to try and aim. You simply move the controller itself. I think Nintendo was one of the first companies that did something like this. So because they've just said gyro aiming, I'm going to go on the website and check as well, but that might mean that you should be able to technically use the Nintendo Switch controllers, because those have gyro aiming built in. There are other controllers like the XIM Nexus, so a device that they made a year back I believe, which actually has gyro aiming involved, so you should be able to use this in your games. I think it's a interesting feature to have. It's definitely not a feature I would use. When I used it on the Nintendo, it wasn't something I was very fond of. It's okay for some games, but maybe for precise aiming it won't be very good for me. I'm going to stick to my mouse and keyboard, and that's what I'm going to use to play everything. The next thing, this is one of the features I do think people would like a lot, because many people I know don't like the Xbox controller, but they like playing on Xbox, and vice versa. They don't like the PlayStation controller, but they like playing on PlayStation, right? So this is going to be that nice middle ground that tries to make everyone happy, because it's cross console controller, which means that I can plug in into my XIM matrix when I do get one, my Xbox controller, and play on my PlayStation. This is something I would actually do, because I don't really like the shape of the PS5 controller. It is much better than the PS4 controller, but I just think the Xbox perfected it years and years ago, and I grew up with that one and it just feels right. And vice versa, I could plug my PS5 controller into my XIM matrix and play on my Xbox. So I know quite a few people that would make use of this feature straight away. They probably won't get one anyway, but that's beyond the point. I think this is a really good feature. And even something like the Nintendo Switch, I don't like the Switch controllers, but if I can plug in my Xbox controller into the XIM matrix and play the Nintendo Switch games, I would like that very much. I mean, obviously if the game must have motion control support, then it might not work very well, but beyond that, this is a feature I might actually make use of when playing on my PS5. I would just use my Xbox Series X controller. So we are still going to have our smart translators. We're going to also have precision aiming. I mean, this is something that we had before anyway, so I'm only guessing that it's going to be much better than we had before. We're going to be able to do much nicer things with mouse and keyboard. For example, the precision with mouse and keyboard for some games wasn't always one-to-one, wasn't always perfect. It's never going to be one-to-one maybe, but this is going to be a step in the direction of being as close to one-to-one as possible. As you can see on this screenshot here, we have Obsave using the gyro DualSense on the Xbox Series X playing Halo Infinite Online. I've played this game, very good game. Now, you will be able to use again gyro controllers. I'm not sure if you'll be able to use the Nintendo Switch ones on the Xbox, but I don't see why not. It says gyro, right? And they didn't specify only the gyro DualSense on the Series X, so you might be able to use those as well. Nice feature again. Some people find it useful. I'm not one of them. I'm going to stick to my mouse and keyboard, but this is a really good addition. I like the fact that they're giving us so much choice, because one of the things I found with having the XIM Apex and the B-Load is that I had to have multiple devices to try and solve essentially the same issue. Whereas with the XIM Matrix, hopefully this solves all my issues at once, because what I would do, I played Halo Infinite using mouse and keyboard just plugged in normally, right? No XIM Apex. But having, let's say I wanted to play, I don't know what game, GTA 5 on my PS5 with my friends online, or just to play it through the story, I would use a mouse and keyboard as well. And this solution for me seems like the perfect middle ground. I am probably going to try now and sell my XIM Apex and sell my B-Loader just to make sure I can buy the XIM Matrix and not spend too much of my own money on it. Here we have the Ghoul Kit King Kong being used on PC. This is not a controller I knew of before, but I'm guessing what's going to happen here is you can use multiple console controllers, off-brand ones, the ones directly from PlayStation and Xbox or Microsoft, on your PC without having to install any extra software. You simply install this software, plug it into your PC, and you should be good to go. I'm guessing any controller you have. Next, we have the Xbox Series X. We have mouse and the Azeron. The Azeron is simply one of those keypads, so not a fully fledged keyboard that you can type with, but simply a keypad mainly used for gaming, and this is going to work perfectly fine as well. We've had this working for a while, so this is simply continuing support for stuff like that. We will be having macros, and we will be able to edit the actual macros, which is a really nice and detailed feature. Maybe not a feature I'm going to be using, because I like to play the game in its truest form possible, but if you are trying to be competitive with your friends, and this might make a lot of sense. One of the things that you'll be able to do, for example, you'll be able to do stuff like rapid fire or auto sprint. Simply put, if you're not too sure what this is, let's just say you're playing a game and you wanted to use rapid fire version of the gun that you have, rather than you trying to click as fast as you can or trying to do something as fast as you can, you simply press a button or press a series of buttons, and that action that you're trying to do as quickly as possible is going to be mimicked by the XIM Matrix. And same for auto sprint. If you wanted to sprint again, you simply click on the left stick, for example, and it would simply sprint for the specified amount of time. Next, we have the smart actions, and one of the smart actions we're going to have is Anti-Recoil. You guys know what this is. It's going to be where you can shoot and you don't have that kick up from your guns or that kick down from your guns. You're going to be able to do exactly what they're doing here, which is essentially shoot in a very straight line. And what they've actually done in this video, they shot down in a straight line and then they did a circle as well, and it was very close to perfect. Now, if you can do this, you can hit your targets pretty easily, and this person isn't even using a scope to try and be more precise. They're just shooting from the hip. Now, finally, we have something called natural reticle control. I have no idea what this is. So we can control it vertically or horizontally. I'm guessing it's going to be you just simply refining and detailing how you want your reticle to move across the screen when you're shooting, when you're aiming. I have no idea, but in any case, that's everything from this video. This is the first look that we have of the XIM Matrix. This is one side, nothing on this side. A gray box with a black top and a red X at the very top. So the XIM logo at the top. Let me move forward a bit more as well. Let's see if we have a different image. Now here we have a single USB port on this side. I'm making the assumption that this is going to be one of the peripherals going in here, or it could be a case where this is the one that actually goes to the console. Now here we have a typical USB port, and we have a USB-C as well, and we also have an Ethernet port. This is quite interesting. So I'm making the assumption here that this is going to be how they get the PS5 thing to stream across the network, because remember with the B-Loader, what happened again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, is they stream everything across the network, but with everything being streamed, they only capture the inputs that are being sent across the network. So I'm guessing by doing this, by having an Ethernet port, is going to reduce latency, because Ethernet is typically in most cases better than Wi-Fi. So that's why they have that. So we might have this being powered by USB-C, and then we maybe plug our mouse, keyboard, and controller into this part here or into this one here. Doesn't really matter, but this is what the XIM Matrix looks like. I'm I don't really have much to say on how it looks. I don't really care how these things look. I would prefer the entire thing to be black personally, so it would blend in a lot more with my setup. But again, once it works the way it should work, I'm going to be a very, very, very happy customer. I'm actually going to try and reach out to XIM team or the XIM team and see if I can get an early device, because I did so with the B-Loader and the B-Loader team sent me a device. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get something from these guys. So here we are on the XIM website. This was actually information that went up on the 18th of December 2022. And here's the video which I just went through with you guys. Now down here we have all the information that we need. I'm not going to read all of this. I'm not going to go through everything. I'm simply going to share the link in the video description. And down here we see all the controllers supported USB, wired, or Bluetooth. Now this is something I wasn't aware of. We're going to be able to use Bluetooth as well. So this might be why they don't have as many USB ports on there like they did with previous devices, because with the Xbox Series X and the PS5 controller, I believe both of those use Bluetooth. So rather than having a cable going from the controller to the actual box, which is the XIM Matrix in this case, you might simply be able to connect it via Bluetooth, and that's it. You're good to go. No cable needed. You could simply plug the charger in, have it sitting one side, have your mouse and keyboard plugged in. You don't have to worry about charging again. So that would be a really, really nice feature. So the controllers that are supported, you have Xbox Series, Xbox Elite 2, Xbox Elite, Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS5 DualSense, the gyro is supported, PS4 DualSense, gyro is supported as well, PS3 DualShock, Nintendo Switch Pro, gyro is supported as they mentioned earlier, Nintendo Switch Joy-Con, the gyro is supported as well, and we have the XIM Nexus, so their own controller which they created, I believe, last year. We have the consoles supported, PS4, Xbox One, PS5. This one should be at the top. I don't know why they put the Series X and X at the top, but PS5 should be at the top because this is the one that everyone wants. We need a simple solution for us to play mouse and keyboard on the PS5, and they have finally done it. So well done to the people over at the XIM team and the XIM Matrix device. I cannot wait. PS5 is enabled through Sony's Remote Play protocol, all others through USB. Do not let that name fool you, as there's nothing remote about it. Your monitor is still connected directly to your console, and though XIM Matrix, I think that's supposed to be through XIM Matrix's onboard wired Ethernet port, our custom protocol client written from the ground up for performance and consistency produces an input rate and latency experience equivalent to USB running at 1000 Hz. That's impressive. 1000 Hz, for anyone that doesn't know, is 1000 times per second. So that's pretty good. So that's why when we have 60 Hz monitors, 50 Hz monitors, that's 50 to 60 times per second. So if you can have something running across the network, which runs at 1000 Hz, that's pretty good. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, I believe they're doing something similar to what B-Loader has done. I don't know the technology behind it. They're obviously not going to tell me what it is, but it's a case where they stream all the information across the network can be streamed, right? So when you're streaming on PS Remote Play, you get the video, you get the audio, and you get the input, so the button presses. What I'm guessing that they've done is they've said, let's strip away the audio. We don't care about the audio because people can simply plug their headphones in and listen from the TV. We don't care about the video as well, because again, people are watching it directly on their TV. So us streaming that information across the network is pointless. What I think they've done, they've simply streamed the button presses, right? And if memory serves me right, one single button press on a keyboard, for example, so if I type A on my keyboard, that's only going to be 8 bits being sent. So that's 8 ones and zeros, so 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1, for example, right? 8 bits being streamed across these networks that we have nowadays. My internet at home is probably like 350 megabits per second download and like 30 to 40 megabits per second upload. That's very fast. So I think that's what they've done. XIM team, I do know some electronics and I do know some programming. So if you guys want me to help you work on this, just let me know. I'll offer my time completely free. But in any case, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was informative enough for you guys. Please stay tuned. As soon as I can get my hands on one of these devices, I will, and you guys will know about it as soon as humanly possible. Thank you.